All right, the New York Yankees baseball team, they have spent in the last 10 years $2 billion on players, more than any other team by great, great margin than any other team in baseball. They've got the best players in the world. And they have never in that time won a World Series. As one of them said, we have the best players, but that doesn't necessarily mean they know how to work together. Best players don't do it. So the question I've had, a number of others, how could we reconceptualize who we are in a way that emphasizes that connection, that who we are together? I mean, it's kind of strange because what we sort of understand, well, here I am and there you are, and we've got those in focus. But it's not easy to focus on what happens here. It's not. It just goes on. It's a movement. You can't pin it down. I mean, you watch a film where two people are talking. The camera will be on the person who's talking, and then the camera on the person who responds. But the conversation really depends on the coordination. Without the coordination, there is no conversation. So how can we think about the coordination as prior to the people in it? Or another way to make this more radical, how is it possible that out of the coordination, the people come to be what they are? That presses it a bit. Well, let me try, if I can, to make this plausible at least. Because if you can turn that conceptual corner, life changes in really important ways. So what happens then, the question is, what happens if we place relational process as the prior, is what we're really interested in, and individuals themselves as secondary? Now, this is a what if. We're not truth talking here. This is an orientation. It's a make-believe in the same way as every other thing that we say. So what if? Well, okay, go back to leadership. Now, what it begins to say is, look, it's fine. There are a lot of books about what a good leader should be under these conditions. I mean, we're all wrestling with that. We've been wrestling with it for 30 years. What is a good leader under those conditions? Enormous number of books. Most of those books emphasize the characteristics, the character, the ways of being of the leader, him or herself. Be understanding, be listening, be compassionate, be cool, and so on. Right? And you can go, if you take the books, and there must be now about 200 that have been written in the last even 5 years, 200 books, and you could get a list of all the things you ought to be under these conditions. And that's okay, except realize that everything that you're going to be isn't anything until people pick it up and do something with it. You don't control that. What you say doesn't become anything until someone picks it up and does something with it and says, hey, that is compassionate. Or, that looks like compassion, but I think it's fake. He's just manipulating me. Same. So none of those qualities are qualities in themselves. They only become qualities within the process of relating.